Hey everybody, today I want to talk about Sherry Turkle's book, Alone Together, Why We Expect More from Technology and Less from Each Other. Before we talk about this book, I think it's important to understand what her first two books were about. Sherry was a lot more optimistic about technology in her first two books. She believed that it was very valuable in a way that it connected people in new ways and gave them new ways to explore their identity. On the flip side, Alone Together expresses her worries about the takeover of technology. Through many experiments and interviews, she's able to find out how technology is able to take over somebody's life. It takes away from true and real friendships and connections through face-to-face interactions. One example of a robot that she has used in an experiment is a Furby.
What's that?
Shut up.
My Furby.
I think we all know and have seen a Furby before, and the experiment involved watching children interact with these robots. It found that children were able to feel sympathy and connect with the robot. Sherry worried about this because the children would only use and interact with the robots when they needed to, and when they didn't, they wouldn't have to worry about it. And that raises the concern that these robots could replace real connections because they're less work and only gives them the attention when they need it. Along with the Furby, Sherry also uses other examples of robots, such as Tamagotchis and robot babies for the elderly. The second part of the book focuses more on online technologies, such as video games and texting and even social media. Sherry interviewed a man who uses video games to higher his self-esteem. He has an online character that's very different from his actual self, and he explained that he's kind of stuck in a cycle where he feels lonely in the real world, so he resorts to his virtual world where he can be whoever he wants to be. At first, the book seemed very negative and dramatic to me. After writing about it, I found that Sherry really just wants us to understand how important real, true connections are, and for us to be aware of how technology can bring us apart from that. I think you guys should all consider reading this book because not only does it help me reflect on the technologies I have used and how it's affected my life, but it also brings me awareness on how I want to use this technology for my kids or my grandparents in my life.